Well, welcome to the Stoned Roadie podcast. This is the one you don't want to miss. It stars Greg Reed, the Stoned Roadie, and Griff, the rocket scientist. Let's not forget Captain Galaxy and all the old friends come along. Lord Willie, talking Skynyrd, and leaving you with a song.
The Stoned Roadie Show, podcast 162. Action. Well, good morning, fellow Earthlings. Yes, here we are. It's podcast number 162 of the Stoned Roadie Show, and we're on Wake and Bake number 44, episode number 44 of the Morning Buzz Wake and Bake on the Stoned Roadie Show. And my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stoned Roadie, also known as the world's most famous roadie ever since the dinosaur. And my co-host, the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. And before I say, hey, Griff, what are we going to talk about this week? I want to talk about last week. You know, they changed the program here on me. And when I was trying to fiddle around and try to figure out how to end this thing, you know, right before we started, they changed the program and they changed the whole operating thing down there, and I couldn't find how to exit the sucker. And I was fiddling around. Yeah, I was stoned, but they're messing with my head here on Zoom. You know, they know what they're doing.
I edited it out, so you didn't.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh well. So
yeah,
okay.
It took him about 5 minutes to close the Zoom meeting down.
So where's that button? I can't find it.
I should have left it. Maybe I'll put it on the end here.
Oh my God, that was funny. What did you add to the last one? Oh yeah, when the Joe Pesci thing, I saw that.
Oh yeah,
That was a good edit. Yeah, when you
What you think I'm funny like a clown?
Like a clown.
Do I amuse you?
Yeah, really. So
Ray
yeah.
Liotta was getting scared.
Okay, Leon, I see you down there. So what the heck? We got a bunch of questions, don't we? Hey, Ellery, I thought you was going to write me some questions. We messed around here for 5 minutes, started looking if you said you was going to ask me some questions. Ellery Lamcat, my good friend Ellery. Yeah, his son does artificial intelligence. He writes songs and then he makes the video, and then he has the artificial intelligence sing it and stuff for him, and he puts it all together. It's pretty cool. I put a couple of them up on my FakeBook page, but he said he was going to ask me a couple questions, but we looked, we couldn't find them, so ask me next week, Ellery. So yeah, that's all I got to jibber jabber about here this fine Monday morning, except for Automotive showed up again here this morning. He's going to he likes to come over and watch the Stoned Roadie show here at the luxurious Stoned Roadie studio, and he likes to come and see us live here before he's got to go to his daily duties. You know, trying to.
What's up, Griff?
Hey, what's happening, Otto? What you doing, man? Stick your head around here so we can see you. There he is,
What's
the
up,
Automotive. Automotive. He goes to the car auctions and picks cars up. He's got a car lot. That's where Craig got his car from.
Yeah, he goes to Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I think he's going to Pennsylvania this morning.
Yeah, driving over there. Yeah, there's no place better to be on my way. Get the be the live studio audience. And
what a way to start your morning is to wake and bake on the Stoned Roadie Show. The Morning Buzz.
Yeah, and hey, Craig, I was showing those stickers that our disciple Dave, he sent me a Craig Reed for President sticker.
Yeah, I got one too.
Mine's a different color.
I
See
know.
it?
How about that? Yeah.
See at the bottom it says, or at the other side, "Make America High Again."
Yeah, he gave me a T-shirt too, except but it's got green in it and it all wears out on the green screen. Yeah.
And then he made this sticker up to supportsurvivors.net. That's the page that you want to go to. Uh, Take a look at that. Supportsurvivors.net. Anna Ethington and her husband Tom are keeping track of that. And this is a free bird. So that's a free bird. And he said something about if people want those Craig Reed for President stickers, he'll make a bunch of them. So,
Oh, I want more than one, man. Shit.
yeah. And then he sent
I
me
got a couple friends.
a brand new replacement. Sorry, we're Stone signed because Steve Lawler. I sent mine to Steve Lawler, and yeah, this is what he put on the back here. So to Griff from Dave, appreciate that. We get all kinds of goodies, and Dave, he's cool, man, for making all. He's a disciple, you know. He didn't happen by accident, you know. That all happened, you know. It was ordained. That was ordained, and Jesus for Survivors ordained all of this, right?
Oh yeah.
Anything you want to say about Jesus for Survivors? You want to?
Oh, we'll kind of we'll share that before we. That's gonna be a good one, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's gonna be big. Yeah.
yeah. That's going to be.
We got a lot to talk about on that. A
That's
lot
going to be an
of
exclusive.
controversial subjects. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
that's going to be somewhat of an exclusive. We're gonna bring Jesus for Survivors on the podcast. So
Yeah.
that's we need to have some kind of like an exclusive sign whenever we, you know. Well, you do have a green screen that said something about news, breaking news, or
Oh
something.
yeah, I got breaking news. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it might take him a little while to find it. It might be a delayed
Oh,
breaking news. You know.
look
You
at
never
this, how
know.
quick I am. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, cool.
I got a couple of those. Oh, where's another one?
Well, he's in the newsroom at least. He is in the newsroom. So
Yeah.
Hurry up, get him out of there before he turns fake.
yeah. So we're going to be talking about cool things like flat Earth and stuff like that, which it'll make more sense once we get Jesus for Survivors on here because the all-knowing Jesus for Survivors. Breaking news, right there.
Now, why can't I move that screen out of the way now? Oh, well, I ain't gonna mess with it. Anyways, but I had something I was gonna talk about before we started talking about that. But oh yeah. I think if you were expecting your stickers, I sent those out, and I think everybody should have got those by now. I've seen where people are getting them. So if you haven't got them and you were expecting them, write to me at thestonedroadie@gmail.com and let me know the situation, and I'll fix that. But yeah, I think everybody has got. I sent them all out that I had put down that requested them and paid for them, and I haven't had any people say, "Where's my stickers?" since I've been sending them out. But I just heard people were getting them yesterday, you know. So yeah.
But you have not sent out the prizes for the winners.
No,
Yeah.
I'm still working on a real good thing for the document. So yeah, just
The letter of authenticity.
yeah, just give me a minute, you know.
Yeah, and we
I'll work
have
on it.
another drawing next Friday. So if you guys don't
It
send
won't
in
be
for
long.
a number,
It'll be this week or next week. Yeah, yeah. We got another drawing, and this is we got one of them coming up. That we're gonna give away one of those, and I'll sign that. Like I said, if I want it, I'll sign on the back, or I don't like to deface it. It's pretty good picture. It's a 8.5 by 11, or 8 by 11.
And then a coin goes with it.
And then the coin goes with it. I don't need to show what a $50 looks like, as you know.
Yeah, all you need to know is it was on the airplane when it crashed.
Yeah.
And you get a letter of authenticity.
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants.
I'm
anyway.
writing up. Yeah, I'm writing up. I'm trying to think of something humorous, and I have brain damage, so it's kind of difficult for me to, think anymore. But I'm trying. But what you get, you'll like what you get. But yeah, just give me a break. I'm trying to think. You're gonna have this on your wall for 50, 60 years. Or probably your grandkids will have it on their wall. And,
Hey, Danny Barron sent me a picture of the stickers that he got, and man, he's got it all laid out. Looks real nice.
Oh yeah, I sent out some. I told everybody if they paid for one, since I made them wait, I'd give them two. So I think I doubled up on everybody, and then because I was so late, I gave everybody Rossington Collins band stickers too, and they were going, "Wow, those are cool."
Yeah, see, so when you win, you usually win big with Craig. And Craig explained to him that that whenever we have the drawing, even if you won, you can win again because the same.
Your number, and I swear, 79 won the week last week or whatever it was, and then 81, and then we gave away 77. So far 78, 79, and 80 have won. If 78 wins this one, I don't know what, or 81. That's weird. That'll be some unusual odds on that one.
Yeah, and you need to send Craig an email and get a number if you want.
I haven't had any new requests. Yeah.
And what's the email, Craig?
The Stoned Roadie, not just Stoned Roadie, the Stoned Roadie at gmail.com.
Yeah, and get your number, and that's your lifelong Stoned Roadie show number that you keep forever.
Yeah. You just have to write in once, and you get your number. Then you're in every giveaway. Yeah,
but you have to listen to the show to know what your number is, right, Craig?
Yeah, you have to listen to the show to see if the number's called. Yeah,
you just don't hear from your buddy at the supermarket.
Yeah, I'm not gonna email you. I'm not gonna email you and say you won. Yeah, you got to watch the show.
Yeah.
You can't just. I'm not gonna email and say, "Hey, you're a winner." You got to watch the show to see you're a winner.
Exactly.
So it's only on Friday night, so you only got to watch us for however long we do it on Fridays, So.
But please like and subscribe, especially subscribe, because that's how the survivors get paid.
Yeah, that's how the survivors.
That's how they get paid. The survivors. That's how they get paid from our monetization, and I don't know, Craig, if we've lost monetization off of things in the past. We kind of like talk about politics sometimes, and
we got to test the water,
Yeah, we got to find out what they don't like.
Got to see what our limits are,
But we're patriots, so we can't help it. We don't like the country being run by a commie. So if you're
a bunch of them.
Yeah, so if you and there's another thing too.
He's just a puppet. That guy Joe, he's just a puppet.
And Craig, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's possible to be a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan and be a Democrat? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah,
it is
possible. Yeah.
Ronnie wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think, in my personal opinion.
It's hard to, weird people look just like you and me.
Well, we are weird people.
Yeah, you can't tell. Everybody looks,
But at least we're not stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we can smell a commie a mile away. You know, we don't need to have somebody tell us that they're
I've been
opening
married 5 times, so I ain't gonna go touch that subject.
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't want to get going too much on that. It's just, but if I have a feeling that you're a liberal in the comments, I will not ask your question to Craig. If you seem like you're a liberal and you start talking some trash about Mr. T or something, I'll just pass right on by your comment and ignore you. So that's the only way I can get back at
Yeah,
you.
you
So.
can't talk to them at this point. You just
I
gotta.
mean, I can't say I hate liberals because some people just have, they have some kind of a mental issue. They can't help it. They've been brainwashed or whatever. I mean, would I stop and give a liberal a drink of water if they were in the street, looking for something to eat or drink? I would hand them something. I would, I am a human. I am a God-fearing human, so I would help my
Hey,
liberal
Griff,
friends.
you saw me do that firsthand one time when we were in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. Otto did that. He gave, well, you don't know if they were liberal, but
I mean,
yeah, Otto gave $100 to this kid on the street. And I was like, hey, man, I need $100. But Otto's rolling in the cash,
shit.
I'm not quite rolling in the cash like Otto is. So,
Yeah,
but
there's that Rustin thing Collins band sticker there behind me.
Love that
That's
sticker.
pretty cool.
yeah, it is. And that's new old stock. That's not like a new sticker that Dave the Disciple
No,
made.
no, no. That's
Yeah,
damn.
that's,
That's 80.
yeah, early 80s.
81. Yeah, that's
81. And
that's 40 years old. 40 some years old.
yeah, and
I
so is
used to
the
have
other
a
sticker.
bunch of them. I'm kind of running low anymore. I've been giving a lot of them away. When you got a lot of them, you just give them away. That's what happened to a
Yeah, and
lot.
so in case you're new to the podcast, every Friday until the end of spring, we're going to be having a drawing where you send an email to Craig and you get you a number and he puts your number in a jar and then he draws it out on Friday and you win. What other podcast you going to go to where you're interactively winning things? And they're stuff like
I have sold these stickers on eBay for like $25. Yeah,
yeah, it's a
yeah,
valuable
$30.
thing.
Yeah, 25, $30. So.
And the coin that you win it was on the plane. Craig had
Oh yeah, God,
all
yeah.
those
I've got a
coins when
couple
it
$100.
crashed.
I've got a couple $100 for one of those, more than that.
Yeah, so that's something cool
Yeah,
right there. But
people like it. Well, they're lucky silver dollars.
That's awesome.
yeah.
And I signed my name real good too, so people tell me.
Well, you get that
It
letter
looks
of
good hanging on the
authenticity.
wall.
You get that letter of authenticity, and then
Yeah. Somebody's got one like this here. I showed it last week. That's what
there you go. Now, how
put it
cool
in
is that?
they put it in a frame, the letter of authenticity, and yeah, I didn't get the picture right. No, that's an old picture.
That's a coin, huh?
That's the dollar. That's the
Okay.
silver dollar.
Yeah, that's back when Craig was going to church, and he's all clean shaven.
Yeah.
Then he fell off the wagon.
That's the picture that was on the wall out there where your Hell House painting hangs now.
Yeah, I sent Craig a big, what is that? A 2x3?
It's huge.
Like
It's 10 feet of frame.
Yeah.
They're 3
It's
by 2
actually
by
the same size as the original painting. Some people have. There's only a few people that have a copy of the original Hell House painting. One of them would be Heather from Plectrum Heaven, who makes the jewelry, and Joe Crimp has the original, and quite a few people. Gene Odom had one. I think Reinheimer's got one. Ed King's brother has one, Jim King, and oh my God, I can't remember all of them, but there's not that many out there. So maybe one day I'll make a copy of a full size Hell House, and we'll have some kind of a giveaway with that or something. If we're still on the air, right, Craig?
Yeah, right.
You never know. But well, I got some questions and some comments that we can go through.
All right.
And then and then we'll just wrap it up. This is anybody who's listening on the way to work, I mean, Craig and I, we're so happy we don't have to go to work, aren't we, Craig?
I think every guy's or woman's happy to go to work unless they're going to work to see an extramarital affair or something.
Well, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to have an affair at work. Oh my God.
What's that saying about get your meat where you get your bread or something like that?
Yeah, so. Yeah, okay, you guys stick with me here. I got a little bit of an allergy attack down here, man. It's been dry in Florida, and my throat's a little dry, and it hadn't rained, and all that pollen's blowing around, and I've been kind of having allergy attack lately, but I'm getting through it. Let me see here. So let's go ahead and start off with the questions and the comments. Now, here's somebody I don't think is you can't call them a skin tard, because this question, you can tell that they're not a Lynyrd Skynyrd expert. But I like to read all the questions, And this question, which is a good question, and Craig will be able to answer this question. You ready, Craig?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay. Sunsail asks, did the band ever make a song referring to you, Craig? That would be Ronnie. Did Ronnie ever write a song?
Yeah, somebody asked me which one that was yesterday. I think Ellery, said, yeah, the song, What's Your Name? Ronnie said, back at the hotel, Lord, we got such a mess. It seems that one of the crew had to go with one of the guests. And now the police say we can't drink in the bar. What a shame. Won't you come upstairs, girl, have a drink of champagne?
And I think the what's your name
go.
little girl is also something Craig said, because when he would bring the girls up
What's
to
your
the
name?
backstage, Ronnie'd go, who do we have here, Craig? And he'd go, what's your name again there, little girl? Because he did that at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think all of us with bad memories said that.
Yeah, I witnessed
They're
that
hard
myself.
to remember their names.
So, yeah, okay, that's a great question, Sunsail. We appreciate that, and there's your answer. And now you can go listen to What's Your Name, Little Girl, and know that was written by Ronnie Van Zant for Craig Reed. And if you don't believe me, it's actually been said by Gary Rossington in an interview. He did say that was written for Craig Reed.
Yeah, the guy said it was having to explain the words to the song, and the guy in particular had said that part of it, and they said, what's your name? And yeah, we had this roadie named Craig Reed, and he got in a fight with some guy in the bar, and they figured we throw us all out because they figured we was all a bunch of long-headed rednecks. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Ronnie, what happened was he was busy, and somebody was starting some shit with him, and he put a couple $100 in Craig's pocket and said, Craig, go take care of my light work.
Take care of my light work in there.
Yeah. And Ed King, people used to ask Ed King, they'd say, what was Ronnie Van Zant like? And Ed always said, go listen to any 4 songs that Ronnie Van Zant sings, and that will give you an idea of what Ronnie was like.
Yeah. That's absolutely the truth. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he wrote about real stuff, real stuff.
Ideas he experienced or one that he got off of somebody else. He loved to sit and just talk to people and just try to have them say little things that come from different parts of the country that he could, just all you need is a little hook,
One of my favorite songs is That Smell. That, to me, that's like That's a great song. It is so good. I mean, the instrumental to it and the whole thing, it tells a story. It's just a great song. And Craig's least favorite song, I think, is Sweet Home Alabama. Isn't that right, Craig?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Craig says he used to get
Probably.
so sick of hearing Sweet Home Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, I just thought it was a hokey song. I don't know. It just sounds like a jingle. I don't know. And funny because that's what it's used as a jingle and everything, you know. I mean, as soon as I heard it, I said, that's a jingle. And yeah, that's what they use it for.
And Alabama has used it for their
fried
song.
chicken. And who else has used that song for a jingle?
Yeah.
I'm good at picking jingles, yeah.
Craig also said one time, he also said when they were out playing and he saw Kiss, he goes, "Oh, they're never going to make it."
Oh, yeah, those guys will never make it.
Those guys suck. They're never going to make
They'll
it.
never make it. They're just a bar band.
Yeah, okay. So that's pretty cool. Then this guy says here, Craig, I love those dogs, especially when they fight.
Oh, God, they're always fighting.
Yeah, Wicker and Leon. Craig named his dogs after basically Ronnie's nickname, Wicker, which is you have to go back and find out why if you don't know Ronnie.
Well, yeah, Leon was supposed to be my last dog was I only had one dog, his name was Leon. So then I got this dog and his name was Leon. And then this dog got stolen. So then I got another dog.
Kidnapped.
Yeah, and named him Leon. And then I got Leon back, and having two Leons just doesn't work. So then I had to think of another name for the other dog. Because the veterinarian still has the other dog as the other Leon as Leon 3.
Well, Wicker's kind of,
but Wicker. So I named him Wicker. You know, I've never heard of a dog named Wicker though.
No, Wicker's kind of laid back. Leon's kind of like a little antagonizing thief. I was over at Craig's house one time, and Craig goes, "Where's my pipe?" And I said, "Oh, I haven't seen it, Craig." And he goes, "Leon, where's my pipe?" And I said, "Leon ain't going to take your pipe. That the dog only weighs like 5 pounds, you know, and the pipe probably weighs about an ounce or two." And so sure enough, I look over and Leon had that pipe in his mouth staring at Craig, and he was getting ready to run with it. And that little Leon, he's a little thief, but they're both cool little dogs, and I've got to spend a little time with them.
Leon.
Yeah, there's Leon. He's a
You're right.
He's a villain. He's a little villain, isn't he, Otto?
He sure is. Yeah, absolutely. Instigator's a good word for him.
Yeah, he's
a shit stirrer, Griff.
Yeah, he's a shit stirrer like me.
5 pounds of terrible.
Yeah.
Hey, so I looked up Sweet Home Alabama, and it's actually featured in 8 major motion pictures.
Oh, I believe it, man.
Including Forrest Gump is one of them. So
I believe it.
yeah, there's actually a movie called Sweet Home Alabama.
And now our next a question that we have that came out of the comments. Autumn Honecker. What's your craziest Ronnie Van Zant story, Craig?
Oh my God! Throwing the TV out of the window while it was plugged in into the swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you have to go down to the equipment truck and get a long cord just to make sure it was?
Yeah, we were on the 10th floor, and he wanted to throw the TV out the window into the swimming pool, but he wanted it to be on, so I went down and got an extension cord so it'd be on, so it hit when it hit the pool.
That's great.
Oh God, you'd get it for attempted murder if you do that kind of stuff.
Wasn't it Steve Lawler that was talking about? You ever see Jack Daniels TV? And then Ronnie would go, "You ever see Jack Daniels TV?" And he's like, "No." And then he would pour Jack Daniels down the back of the TV until it blew up.
Oh yeah, yeah. He'd walk into a room if there was something in there he didn't want on or whatever. If he wanted all the attention, he would pour Jack Daniels down the back of the TV, and it'd go out. And then after it dried, I guess it came back on. That's what I heard. So it didn't really ruin.
So he didn't have to pay for that.
Alcohol would evaporate, I guess. Wasn't like water.
Yeah, that's true. A little sugar in it. But, okay, and there you go, Autumn Honecker. There's your craziest Ronnie Van Zant story, right out of the Stoned Roadie's mouth. Who was there when it happened? When the TV did hit the pool with it plugged in? What did it do, Craig? Did it?
It just went out.
Well, nobody in the pool, right?
No.
Didn't Leon used to throw stuff out of the window and then he'd go look out and off the balcony and go, "God, thank God there wasn't nobody down there."
Leon at the Continental Hyatt House and on the Sunset Strip, Leon got in a fight with his wife and we were up on the way up on the 10th floor or whatever high, way up there. Anyways, the balcony door was open where you go over under where the Sunset Strip's right down there, and he got mad at his wife and went out on the balcony and threw a bottle of Jack Daniels. Just wasn't looking. And
hit somebody.
Come a guy walking his dog, man, and Leon goes, no, and knocked the guy out, and the dog down there running around, the guy's knocked out on the strip, Naturally, they came looking for us, found out Lynyrd Skynyrd was on what floor we were on. No, really. But they did come ask us what, because nobody said anything,
Funniest story I heard about, I think it was Steve Reynolds may have told me this. He said that the guys, they'd be in a bar and they'd be like ready to take a cab back to the hotel or something. And they go, where's Leon? And somebody'd say, well, I saw him leave with some people and they found him at somebody's house watching football. Somebody that just was in the bar and Leon's over there watching a football game at somebody's house that he just met at the bar and they couldn't find him. Finally they found him. They're like, yeah, he went home with some guy over there. And then they go in there and there's Leon watching football. Hey, y'all come on here to have a beer. So Leon was a friendly guy. All right, let me see what we have here. Oh yeah, Joey Mueller, and he's commented several times on a lot. He's a fan of the podcast. He says he saw on YouTube a story about Nazareth touring with Skynyrd. I guess during the time that the plane were they touring with you on that last tour? Because he said that I guess some family members were afraid that they were on the plane with you guys.
I don't remember that.
No?
I don't remember that.
Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. This is one that, Otto, you mentioned this person, Black Widow Killers, whoever that is. I have a question about a VH1 documentary. Why did Billy tell a story that he claims Cassie died in his arms?
Yeah, I don't know. He was, that was a pretty stressful situation. There was a lot of, everybody on that plane's got a different story about what happened. Steve Lawler, when I talked to him, he just said, I've heard, I heard so many stories from people that were on that plane, and everybody's got a different story,
Yeah.
But, it's like I remember I remember Billy coming back and wanting to change seats with one of us, and Steve didn't remember that. And I remembered Ronnie coming back and just looking down at. Of course, Ronnie was pointed this way in the plane, and Steve was also pointed this way, so he would have to look backwards like that to see him, but he doesn't remember seeing him. We were pretty involved in that poker game, having somebody come back there, and even though we kind of knew we were having issues with the plane, I don't think any of us, me and Steve Lawler, weren't really scared of crashing. We just thought we ran out of gas like they were talking about. We would just land it in the field somewhere,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that that actually started, I believe, an argument with Artimus and Billy. Maybe somebody told me, but you can't hold yourself liable for anything when you were on that plane. I mean, that was a tragic thing. The fact that they just walked away from or were carried away from it and lived is, that's
well, Kenny
a
Peden,
good thing.
When Kenny Peden was on here, he kind of said that Cassie stood up right when the plane crashed. To see where we were, but didn't you say something? There was something that was controversial to that.
Yeah, I think that supposedly she was sitting somewhere else other than where somebody said she was sitting somewhere else other than where he said she was sitting. So everybody's, like Craig said, everybody's got their own story. And there was actually a lady that did a whole thing on Artimus. Did he really get shot? That's on YouTube. And she dissected the whole thing. And there was like so many different stories that, as a matter of fact, Brenda, what kind of rifle was it that Brenda said that he shot in the air?
243.
Yeah, and then Johnny Motes in an interview said it was a shotgun. So you can't believe everything. I mean, who knows? And then on the last podcast, somebody asked how can they get stickers, a Hell House sticker, and a poster. Is that the rifle right there?
That's a 243.
The bullet?
Yeah.
243, yeah.
That's a big bullet.
Yeah, that's a big bullet. But if it was a shotgun, I guess maybe there's a chance some of that bird shot could have got Artimus. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't say. But yeah, so somebody was asking, can they get a Hell House poster and a sticker? And I guess I didn't go back and look. Maybe I didn't put the whole email up there, my email, which I'll put it up there right now.
I don't know how many of those posters. Are they talking about the Hell House, the 12 by 12?
Yeah, they're wanting me to send them
I don't know how many of those I have. I
got some.
Oh, okay.
And I'll send them, but it's not going to be free. But you guys, I'll put the email up there. It's edwg59@gmail.com. And you just email me there, and I'll tell you how you can get those.
Yeah, God, postage on one of those is like $6, $7.
I know.
That's crazy, man.
Postage on everything.
Because you got to put it in a tube or a big flat envelope. They're so big.
Those pictures back that I had back there that Ricky Wascom bought, it cost me $200 to send those. And that's, postage.
Oh, and Jeff is here, and Jeff put in a bid on the on the
Dobro.
Dobro, yeah,
which he put in a bid for $300, but we got to sell that for more than that because.
But like we were saying though, shipping on that thing is going to be $200. So
yeah, easy.
Easy. So Jeff said he's wasn't worried about getting it right away. We we'd pick it up somewhere down the road. So that'd save the $200 in shit. So that's like $500, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause it's gonna cost a couple $100 to ship that thing. Didn't used to cost that much, but man, shipping's crazy anymore.
Binomics.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I used to
everything.
ship guitars for $35
Oh, yeah.
in 2003. Back in
Yep.
no 2010, I think. Yeah, just a dozen years ago.
This gentleman, Jordan Fulton, said he loves the podcast. He listens to it while he drives and doesn't get a chance to comment too much. But his kids know the song at the beginning, I guess the Bill Major song, and I guess they know it by heart. So maybe I'll put that song
Welcome
up
to
there.
the Stone Roadie podcast. It's one you don't want to miss. Stars Craig Reed, the Stone Roadie, Griff the rocket scientist, and don't forget Kathy Godsey and the other good friends that come along. We'll be talking Skynyrd and leave you with a song.
And then there's a whole full version too, Craig, about, if your feelings get hurt real easy, you better not.
Yeah, you better not watch the show.
Yeah, Craig talks about fat folks and cigarette smokers too. So if you're fat and like to smoke, he might poke a little fun at you. Yeah, Craig likes to tell it like it is, so it's something that you want to know. If the feelings get hurt real easy, you better not watch the show.
Yeah, I'll put that
You
on
might
there.
talk about fat folks.
Yeah, we'll put that on there and let you guys hear that. So,
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't heard that
in a while.
Jordan's kids sing the song. What do you think about that, Bill Major? If you're, Bill's the writer of it. He's the one who. He's a guy I grew up with, and I didn't even know him. I mean, he's in my neighborhood and everything, and he sent that song, and we started talking. I'm like, man, you went to the same school as me. You know all my friends, and he's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. Bill Major wrote that. Not to be confused with Danny Barron, who does the other one. The one that the newest one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We got these guys doing these things for us. They're, really cool.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Mike Estes to send his. Oh, Mike, he was sick there for a while. I guess he was out of commission, so I hope he's doing better. He had COVID a couple times. All righty, let's move right along here. There's a guy here. He says he likes to listen to the podcast, and when he gets off of work on third shift, Justin Alexander, he gets off of work a third shift, and that's right exactly when the podcast comes on. So he's listening to it right now. And he just got off a third shift. The graveyard shift, man. I hope it wasn't too bad for you, Justin. I used to work that third shift, man. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, I'd be out on the launch pad all night prepping that rocket and everything, and be working. I'd watch the sun come up sometimes and be just dead on my feet on that graveyard shift. That sucks. Some people like it though. Some people like it. Let me see here. Brian and Diane Gibbons. I guess Brian, he's the guy who had that neck surgery, right, Craig?
Yeah.
Man, that was a nasty scar. The thing caved in on his back of his neck, and I guess they went in and fixed it. But yeah, thanks, Brian, for watching, man. I know you've been through hell.
He had some bad luck and fell too after all that too.
Hit his arm, and he says he loves to watch the podcast. And Leslie Hawkins, if you're listening, he and his wife just love you, and thanks for letting Griff videotape your message to thanking the donators for their contributions to the forgotten survivors. Yeah, I went to Leslie Hawkins invited me to her home, and and she made a meal for me, and yeah, man, it was awesome. I was over there for like 5 hours at Leslie's house, and we were just having a good old time. Her and her husband, great people. I really enjoy that. And then I got to videotape a little message from her thanking everybody for the donations, and we got some more money to give away too, Craig. Right? I mean, we got.
Yeah. I just kind of, trying to let it build up a little bit,
Yeah, wait till it builds up some more. So,
Some
but we
people
do
don't have a
still
lot.
accept donations if you want to donate to Craig's
Mark Frank, I
post
think,
office
Mark
box.
Frank and Leslie, I think, got the most company. Mark
Yeah,
Frank, well, no, who'd that
Mark
book go to?
Howard.
Well, the one book went for $1,000.
Yeah, that was, I believe, Mark Howard. But you got it all
Oh,
written down. You got it all written down, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
just can't think of it right now. And Leslie got some coming, and Mark Frank
Um,
too. Gene got a little bit coming, and
yeah, that Dobro gets the
well, that
money for
goes to
that.
Paul Welsh, or no,
No, that goes to Gene
something
Odom.
goes to Paul Welsh. Some of
Yeah.
the stuff we're selling goes to Paul Welsh, right?
Yeah, you got it all written down, Craig.
It's complicated. God dang, at least I got all these stickers out of the way. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah,
I had them coming in on, it's not bad when everything comes in on Gmail, but when they come in the mail and in Gmail, because in Gmail I can just, I can just give you a number. Of course, we didn't have the whole number thing. We just had to figure this whole thing out, but it's easy from here on out.
well, those posters that came from the Lakeland Civic Center, that goes to Mark Howard. All that money that got collected from Ricky Wascom, that goes to Mark Howard, because that's where Brandon Campbell and Kent Griffith wanted the money to go to Mark Howard, because his whole leg fiasco there, and yeah, so that's where that goes. All righty, let me see here. Oh yeah, this I guess this is just their comment handle. South Varon says he missed a few podcasts and went back and was looking and said, on podcast number 1, evidently, Craig, I called you a guitar tech. I don't remember that, but I'll have to go back and check that out. I'm sorry about that, Craig. Maybe
Well, I'm not offended by it, but I probably slip every now and then and say it myself.
I mean, it was episode 1. I mean, it was still kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than being called.
In general, I'm a roadie,
Better than being called an asshole or a liberal.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, I posted something on my FakeBook today. There was a kid on there that said, I've been a guitar tech for 2 weeks and I'm trying to figure out these stove tuners here. Can somebody help me? I got 2 of them and they won't do a C sharp.
Which reminds me is Shelby, our Stonette, has relocated to Jacksonville, and she's got a job already down there. She does part-time work as a stagehand, and so she's right in the middle of all the action down there, and lives near, I guess, in Riverside. And so she's going to be more available for us to utilize her at some of these concerts. It'll be on the road with Shelby Barrett, and I think we may get her on here Wednesday, Craig. We're going to try to get Shelby on here Wednesday
awesome.
morning.
Yeah.
And you guys get to hear Shelby. And she's a cool girl, Shelby. She's a great stonette. She's a perfect stonette. Whatever a stonette is, she don't sing or anything, like a honkette, but she's a stonette. She does our some of our stuff for when whenever we have our show at the beginning and the end. Sometimes maybe we'll put her on there for something. So a lot more stuff coming up with Shelby.
Well, Griff, we were down there in Mississippi at the monument, and Griff just come up and said, "Craig, meet our new Stonette." And I said, "Well, okay."
Yeah, I just went ahead and hired her right off the bat, which she don't make any money. So Shelby, people that are watching the podcast might want to know a little bit more about our Stonette. So start off, well, where are you from, and where did you grow up?
I'm from Edinburgh, Mississippi. I'm 25 years old. I've been a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan for as long as I can remember, so I'm just over the moon about being a part of this. So thank y'all a lot for letting me be involved.
I said, Shelby, I said, I was talking to her and she was real cool, and I said, you look like you need to be a Stonette for our podcast. She said, I would love to.
Oh, and God, so, that's funny.
Well, I
guess her dad was a big Skynyrd fan, and she grew up listening to Skynyrd.
We're going to find out all about her, because I'm going to ask her all kinds of questions. She's only 25 years old.
She's cool.
Griff, I knew you did good when you asked me to get with her on a video. And as soon as I started talking to her, and the first clip she sent out, I was like, oh my gosh, she's a natural.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. It's one of those things. She was ordained. It was supposed to happen. Yeah, I didn't even, have to think. It was like a knee-jerk reaction. It was, and then Stonette came right out of my head. I don't know where that came from.
Well,
I think I was looking at Craig.
Honket rhymes with Stonette,
I was looking at Craig at the time, and he was stoned, and I was thinking of Honket, and I said Stonette.
Stonette, yeah.
And her mom's real cool, and her dad's real cool, and she was actually named after the Mustang, Shelby the Mustang.
Yeah.
And now your name is pretty cool, Shelby. Tell me the story about how you got that name, Shelby.
Well, I have an older brother. We're 8.5 years apart, and he begged for a little sister. And my mom and him were looking at car magazines, flipping through, and he said, Mom, if I have a little sister, I want to name her Shelby. And so here I am.
She's got a Mustang. She's got
and she gets tickets too in that Mustang, man. I heard her take off when we were doing that show down there, the Manatee Fest, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going now," and then I look at she's peeling out, going down the road in that Mustang. I was like, "Yeah, okay, there's Shelby. No wonder she got a ticket." But
that's my kind of girl, Griff.
Yeah, that's our kind of girl. That's a Skynyrd girl right there. And now we got Chip Ruey. He says, I haven't seen Dean Markley's strings in years. So remember, we were wondering, if they still make them. So I don't think they make them anymore, according to Chip Ruey here. So I guess that those are the strings that Leon used, right?
The whole band used them. We had an endorsement with them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the whole band
they liked them. They were good strings, man. They liked them.
Well, if anybody knows if they still make them, then that would be cool to know. Maybe we'll get a pack of strings and get Craig to sign some Dean Markleys and give them away on a podcast. That's let us know if anybody has any Dean Markleys. Then Jeff, a guy named Jeff, asked, what's going on at the monument in October? I heard Craig saying something about it, and that, he may or may not be there. Well, I don't know, but I think,
well, I'm not gonna tell everybody, I plan on going, I would really like to go, and I plan on going, but seriously, I don't see it happening. I mean, it's 2 weeks before the election, and they're all, Lord knows what they got planned. I mean, it could just.
I think flying saucers.
We're sitting on a keg of dynamite right now.
Yeah, I think Craig, flying saucers are going to be flying around shooting lasers at people. That's what I think. Well, I could be wrong about that, but they're going to figure out some outlandish thing to cancel the election. And they've been talking a lot
They've
about
got
flying
some.
saucers
They've
lately.
got. They have something they can control that shoots a laser down here. There's,
Yeah, wouldn't that be something if
they have something. I
people
mean,
are laughing
they
at me
have
right
something.
now? But wouldn't that be funny if it? And it wouldn't be
Well, you
funny.
should
But
know. You should know what they got up there. You would have put it up there, wouldn't you?
I tell you what, I will tell you this: when I was my last, I'd say 4 years working at Kennedy Space Center, Elon Musk was launching rockets like I'd never seen rockets get launched in my life. That whole Starlink thing, I don't know what's going on, man, but I ain't kidding. It seemed like there were two a week going up. It got to the point to where I wouldn't even go out of the office and watch it. It's like watching an airplane flying. They just got, one rocket right after another, after another, after another. And there's something crazy going on with Elon Musk and shooting those rockets because they were like going up like twice a week. Seemed like, I was like, oh my God. And, a couple of them blew up, not anything that you could see. But when those boosters returned back to Patrick Air Force Base over there, and they were landing on the barge, but they were landing over the Air Force Base, that is something cool to see. They break the sound barrier when they're coming back in, and they land upright. And amazing technology. Some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen. The Elon Musk and his program over there, and we actually gave him some of our old equipment. Not I don't know if we gave it to him. We sold it to him, like one of the transporters that we used to haul the space shuttle, the orbiter, around with. That I actually drove the orbiter around myself. I was certified to drive the orbiter with, and he moves his rocket with that thing. So they gave him a lot of stuff. They're in cahoots. NASA's in cahoots with him. And I know Obama gave him a bunch of money back when he was running for president. Elon Musk was contributing to his campaign. So he did that so he could get some cash for his program. And that's when he first started working out there. And Obama was not a popular person at Kennedy Space Center because he lied and said that he was going to continue the Constellation program, and he lied to all the union members and said, and you can Google that, it's actually on YouTube. And so he had to sneak through the woods because there were people waiting for him that didn't like him. And when he went to see Elon Musk over on his pad over there, but that's a crazy time back then. I'm not a big fan of that Obama either. So anyway, let me see here. That question that I was going to ask was there's a guy says he supports the podcast with Craig and Griff and Kathy, and he was wanting you to talk about the second helping recording. Anything you can talk about the second helping recording, Craig?
Oh, well, I had just got with the band at that point, and I kind of, I really didn't. It took a while for them to, take a liking to me, so I didn't want to, really make a spectacle of myself. And so that, I had just started with them. I mean, seriously, and I didn't want to really, be somewhere where I wasn't really welcome. And I didn't, after I would been with the band for a while, I was, anything that was going on, I didn't feel uncomfortable being there,
But you were in the studio though when they were recording that, right?
Yeah, but those things are pretty private, I mean, when they're in there in the studio recording, you don't want to be in there walking around, I mean, some people can, but they get distracted, and they're some musicians are like Karens, you know. I mean, they really are. They're really almost like a woman. They get really moody, and they're in their own little world, and they don't want to deal with anything besides what's going on. And I'll dare you invade my space in here in the studio. Why do you have to be in here? You know, you're distracting me, you know. That happens with some people. They don't bother them, but other people, they don't like it. Just depends, you know.
And also, too, those weren't hits yet. I mean, they were just written, and it's not like you've heard them on the radio.
Just written. I mean, they
Yeah.
wrote that. They wrote that whole record on the spot. I mean, they actually did. They wrote that record right there.
Well, you were at Hell House when they were working on those songs, and you were probably just going, "Oh, that sounds pretty cool," but it wasn't like you had listened to it on the radio a bunch of times, and it became ingrained in your mind, like it is with everybody else, like like me and Otto and
When Skynyrd was playing, when they played live, when I started with them, and they would go to play the shows they played, they would play their record, but they would play a couple of songs, like they were going into the studio, right after this tour. So they would play a couple of songs that they were writing just to see how the crowd would respond,
Yeah, to see if
just
it was a
to
hit.
try it,
Yeah.
just say, let's play this song that we're writing just to see how the crowd will respond to it, because you don't know. I mean, you think it's good because you did it, but you don't know what the general people will think about it.
Do you remember any of the songs off of Second Helping that you said to yourself, that sounds really good?
Well, I Need You was the first song that I really remember that I really liked, because I saw Ed and that one guy, Mike Porter, kind of write it by themselves and then come to the studio with a tape and go, here, Ronnie, listen to this. And about 20 minutes later, Ronnie had written all the words for it. And I went, you got to be kidding me. And I don't remember that he changed from the original time that he sang it. I don't remember him changing anything.
Well, the first time you heard
Just
Needle
right
in the
off
Spoon,
the cuff, just wrote it.
the first time you heard Needle in the Spoon, can you remember what your thoughts were about Needle in the Spoon?
No, they were, they had so many good songs back then.
He was thinking someday some little kid was going to be influenced by it and become an astronaut.
I was
Needle in the spoon.
I was really intent on figuring out what the hell I was supposed to do, and
Well, Craig, give us an idea. Okay, here you are. You just show up at the Hell House. It's during the Second Helping time, and you show up for work. Well, y'all rode in there together, and you went and you walked in. What was the first thing that you did, and what was the first thing the guys did that morning when you walked into Hell House? What were you doing, and what were they doing?
That was when the first time I was there. I was staying at the 8 Days Inn, and I had a room, and Ed King had a room, and Bob Burns had a room. It was $8 a day, and I stayed there at the 8 Days Inn for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. I don't know, and I was out there, and I was good. I mean, after partying with the guys and stuff, and it wasn't like we were total strangers. We were almost kind of like friends, you know, from right get-go, you know. I mean, that's kind of the way when we were at the hotel, we just kind of become friends, you know, from my time there. That's what Ed King said. You know, everybody really likes you, and they really, you know, enjoyed being around you and stuff, you know, and I think you get along good with everybody, you know. And what do you ever think about coming with us? And do what, you know? So, but even when I started with him, even though I was so didn't know anything about that kind of business, you know, I'd been around just around some bands, local bands or stuff, but you know, I didn't really, you know, really want to, you know.
So take us back to a morning when you got in the car and you pull up to the gate at the Hell House property, and everybody's in the car, and you're getting ready, and you ride down that dirt road, and then you know you go into the Hell House. What was your first duty when you got there? What was your job when you got in there?
I didn't do anything at that point. I mean, when I got there, I was doing drums, but the drums, everything was all set up.
So you just walked in there, just kind of looked
So I
around
was just there hanging out, you know. I mean, really, we were, you know, just hanging out.
So what did the guys do? What was there? Did they kind of like sit
Oh,
around
they
and
were
bullshit,
real. They were. It was business, man. It was, you know. So they were in there, and I, you know.
And if they said, Craig, go do this, then you would do it. Whatever they
that
wanted
wasn't
you
really
to do.
anything to do. They really that was never the point. I never had a boss. I was never a person that they would use. Hey, Craig, go do. After I was there for a while, I just knew what needed to be done and did it before anybody asked me. It was already done.
Do you remember the first day
Sometimes.
that you walked in the Hell House? Do you remember the first day, what you thought about that place?
Not
when you
really.
first saw
Me
it?
and Ed and Bob Burns walked in, and we were just, you know, everybody was just there, and then they just started writing, and then we left and went back to the hotel. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't
Did anybody bring a sandwich or some crackers?
not that I remember. No.
No,
They'd go up to that store and get a moon pie and a myrrh.
Were they
It was a
drinking
little
beer?
store.
Were they drinking beer the whole time?
No, not really. No,
What kind of keyboards did Billy have?
I had Wurlitzer, one of those little Wurlitzer electric keyboards. So, you know.
Yeah.
You just take the legs off of it and put it in a case and put the legs on top. Yeah, it was just a portable Wurlitzer. It wasn't even 88 keys. It was just.
So they were working on stuff and they were playing. It was Ronnie kind of like sitting there in a chair thinking about what they were doing and what he could write. And did you see?
Yeah, there was a
mind at
couch
work?
there, and he'd sit there on that couch, you know, and just sit there and listen.
And where would you be? Like kind of in the corners burning a doob or what?
Probably I would, you know, just kind of where I wasn't in the way, just kind of watching and just kind of.
Were you thinking to yourself, okay, now you had heard, had you ever heard Lynyrd Skynyrd on the radio by this time?
Well, when I was there in the room, it was that weekend, and they had those Don Kirshner rock concerts on. You know,
You talking about at the hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First night I was there, they had. I probably was like, I don't know what. I just remember the first night, like I was there, we were watching like Don Kirshner's rock concerts on the TV, or one of them rock concerts. Could have been Hullabaloo for all I
Was that at the hotel
was-
in Ohio or a hotel?
Yeah, at Kent
Yeah.
State.
And didn't they ask you something about, Craig, have you ever heard our song before and you went,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
What'd they ask you?
The only thing I remember about it was Gary and Alan, and they said they were guitar players, and I said, well, which one of you is the best? You know, who's the lead player? You know, that's about, you know, who plays lead and who plays rhythm, and they said, well, we play, I play lead and rhythm, and Gary plays lead and rhythm, and I goes, well, which one of you is the best? And they were kind of like. I remember that I remember that, you know.
And didn't they ask you about a song didn't you ever hear this song that's on the radio, Craig?
I had heard Freebird on the radio at that point, and probably I'd heard Freebird, you know.
Did you know that Alan played that
I did, you know what, I really, you know, I really wasn't familiar with them. I really wasn't. You know, and when I went to the shows with them, I just goes, you know, God, those guys are really good, you know. But I never took it as I never, when I was at those shows, I never took it as, wow, I'm gonna work for them or anything. I was just there hanging out, you know.
So back at the Hell House, okay, did they ever like stop and go outside and take a break and bullshit, or are they just constantly in the Hell House from the time they got there to the time they left? Were they just any breaks or anything?
Oh God, I didn't keep a schedule on them. They were they weren't there to mess around. I mean,
yeah.
What
was a full
while
day?
They were there, they took every opportunity they could of making every, you know, they only had like I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe, you know, I guess it was a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks we were there before we went to LA. You know, I mean, I got with them and you know, I met him in December the 7th in Ohio, and then January 1st I went to Atlanta, and that's when I started working for him, and then I went directly from there to Jacksonville, and we were there 3 weeks maybe, and then by the 1st of February, I remember my birthday. I'm at the Beverly Garland's Howard Johnson's in Hollywood. So it wasn't. I met them on this January or December the 7th, and by my February the 2nd, I was in Hollywood, California. You know, and you know. Couple days after that, I met John Lennon.
Somebody told me that.
Yeah, right around the February 2nd, right around the end of January, 1st of February. That's when I met John Lennon. Yeah.
Somebody told me, Craig. Somebody told me in the morning sometimes before they would go to Hell House, they would go to the donut place where Sister used to work and get a coffee and some donuts. Is that true?
I don't
remember that.
I never did a donut run with them. No, that I remember. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to extract skin information from the Stoned Roadie.
In 75, after the first tour, and then when I went back to Florida and it's to start right after the first tour with Skinner, but probably after Christmas 1975, going back to Florida. When I went down there, I took my car back down there with me. And those 70, I think it was a 71 Delta 88, great big Delta 88. And I used to drive just Gary and Ronnie, and Billy. I'd drive about 4 of them out there to the Hell House. I would drive because it was a great big car. and it would go back. It would navigate back there in the hell house after it would rain and it'd be real muddy and stuff. It'd be cars stuck back there, but that great big Oldsmobile, man, it'd plow right through that stuff, man.
Yeah, you could get stuck if you didn't have the like something
Positive
like
traction or
Posi
whatever,
track, yeah.
Yeah, that sucker go right back through there, man.
Do you remember going around picking mushrooms out there?
Oh God, yeah.
Was that, do you and Gary go around picking some mushrooms together?
Me and everybody, me and Artemis, me and everybody went out there.
Yeah?
Well, not everybody, me and Gary and Artemis, basically.
Were they pretty easy to find out there? Pretty easy?
There was a lot of cow shit out there,
Yeah.
You know, anywhere there's a cow, you know.
what
Gary,
did
man, when I told him I would stay at the Hell House and he went out to find me a mushroom, he wasn't out there 5 minutes till he came back with a mushroom for me to eat. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Did you just eat the mushroom or did you make a tea out of it?
No, I just ate the mushroom after I washed the shit off of it. I ate the mushroom.
So what was a typical harvesting of the mushrooms when you harvested them? Did you just eat the mushrooms or did you ever make a tea? Or
Well, yeah, we made tea. Yeah, we made tea. Yeah, nowadays I make tea out of them. But yeah,
was that something that you partook of?
The buzz is better if you heat them. If you heat them, it makes it.
Did you
better.
consume them after practice or during practice?
I never ate them unless I didn't have anything to do. Yeah. I'm enough of a mess, just normal. If I eat them things, I make sure I'm absolutely just.
So when everybody was doing the mushrooms, were y'all just laying around tripping in the hell house, or what was it like after you did the mushrooms with the band out there?
No, we didn't really do them all together. I would just do them while I was out there by myself. I think Artimus too. He would sit out there, eat mushrooms. I know. One time we had a great big rattlesnake and they had it in a 50-gallon drum, and I think Artemis ate some mushrooms and he was out there and knew that rattlesnake was in that drum, and he was, you get to thinking about things, your head goes in weird places.
Yeah, because you and Artemis stayed out there together, right?
Me and Billy. First person I stayed out there with was Billy. It was Billy's turn. I think it was after I stayed there by myself. Maybe I stayed out there with Billy before I stayed out there for Gary. I don't remember. I remember I got pictures of me out there when Billy was out there, and he was playing. Me and Billy were out there, and he was playing on his Wurlitzer.
Man, you got to break those pictures out, man.
They have to find those.
Yeah, you got to go find those pictures, man. That's your audience needs to see them.
So did we go through all those questions?
No, that was I was trying to, while I was on a roll dragging that out of you,
God, we got a bunch of jibber jabber going on now.
See, you think, Craig, you think that's unimportant to you, but people love that when you're talking. Isn't that right, Otto?
That was gold right there. Absolutely.
Yeah, Craig thinks that's just bullshit, but that's gold for people that, and we'll be hearing that in the comments. People are going to be going, wow, yeah, that's what we want to hear. And Craig, that's the hard part of extracting it from the Stone Roadie. That's the hard part. That, not too many people can do that, and it takes a rocket scientist.
See there, Jeff. That's why.
But whoever asked that second helping question,
you got to see this live, living and breathing.
Yeah, we appreciate that second helping question, because that got me off on a tangent, and for the extraction phase of the Stone Roadie's mind. Tuxedo Manor asked Craig, was the tour canceled when you told Alan about Kathy passing away?
I didn't tell Alan about Kathy passing away. We were doing a show and we had to do the show, and during the show, we got word that she had died. And
Was it on a
God,
tour?
I had to go out there on the stage, and Alan was having such a good time, man. He was running around laughing and stuff. I was going, oh my God, man, if you only knew, you know. And then after the show, they asked me to go back with him on the plane, and I went, man, to have Mike Sparks go back, because they wanted somebody that was close to Alan to go with him. I said, man, Alan, Mike's pretty close with him. He's Alan's guitar roadie now. Just have him go with him. And so Mike went with him with Larkin, and they got in the limo, man. Alan's going, you know, this is what I heard. Alan was really psyched about the show and everything, and they got to that where the Learjet was, and got on the plane and everything before, and got him on the plane and everything, and then he figured out something was up, and then they told him, you know. But yeah. I heard that's what happened. That's, you know, that's what Mike
was
said.
that in the middle of a tour?
Yeah.
And did it get canceled?
I don't remember how many shows we missed. Probably a week. Probably, I don't know.
So so you could.
I don't know. I don't remember how he took that. Alan's pretty rough, man. He's might have, you know, just like when you get thrown off a horse, just get up and jump in the saddle, you know. He's pretty tough.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that put the kibosh on the rest of that tour, and
yeah, it ruined him for the rest of his life. But
yeah,
you know, he went to things to what do they call it? the comfort stuff, you know, and you know. Instead of going to food like most people do, he went to the other hard stuff that'll kill you. Well, it'll all kill you.
Yeah, he probably, out of all the rock and roll stars, probably is known for having the hardest life out of any rock and roll guitar playing expert. Like we see, you know, a lot of people going through things. Alan probably had it worse than anybody. I mean, so Craig, we're down to the last question, which, believe it or not, it's only like 14 questions. We've had over 20 questions before, and I know I drug them out, but you know, sometimes when you can get Craig to answer stuff, you got to keep going with it, man. This person here wants to know, Griff, why didn't you say 104 when Craig pulled out that number to screw him up so I could get a package too? I was trying to stay quiet because I didn't want to mess him up like I did that one time. So, so that concludes all the questions, Craig, and that I guess we can do a wrap.
Man, let's do it
on the podcast.
This was what podcast? Oh God, yeah. Say goodbye, Leon.
162 podcast. 162
and Wake and Bake 44, and that sounds like a see you later, alligator, at the wild crocodile.
Yeah, we really worked Craig this time. He's burned out.
I would high five you, Griff. You did a great job. If you were here, I'd give you a big high five.
Yeah, Craig's burned out now. He's got to go burn some weed. He's
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep toking until then. And that's a wrap. Cut. See you later, alligator. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, God.
Oh, I know what he's getting ready to do.
No, oh, there it is. I misplaced the mouse. So I could, because that's how I gotta stop this thing. And I hate to look for it after I say, See you later, alligator, at the wild crocodile. And why isn't that thing coming up? Doggone it. Where is it? Huh.
What are you looking for?
The thing that says stop. Yeah, it's not coming up.
Huh.
Oh wow. I
Well,
gotta play around with this here.
maybe you forgot where to look. Maybe you're stoned.
No, it's
Well, I know we're recording because I got a button that says leave. So,
well, it's not letting me log out of here. Let me see here. Doggone it. Oh, over here it is. It changed places. It's yeah. Yeah. Oh no.
huh?
Huh. No, that wasn't it. Well, I don't know. You're just gonna have to.
Well, if you click the wrong thing and it doesn't save the podcast, that's going to screw up the drawing. So,
Okay, here we go. I think I got it. You're gonna have to edit this or something. All this.
no, I'm going to leave it in there.
All right, this has been the Stone Roadie Show, podcast 161. See you later, alligator at the wild crocodile, and that's a wrap. And cut.